Hello and welcome to number one sports ground here in Newcastle for the Newcastle District Cricket Summer Bash. And we're about to get underway very shortly. So the umpires out there in their fancy purple and pink jerseys. And it's not a real summer's day here in Newcastle. It's probably the coolest day we've had for the Summer Bash so far. We've had, this is week 3, and it's been every day, I think, over the 30-degree mark, but today it's a nice 25 degrees. So if you just tuned in and think, well, I might come down to number one sports ground and watch some T20 cricket, well, today's the day. Come down and watch Cardiff taking on Belmont. The Black Roses up against the Whips. Should be a beauty. Moments ago, both captains were out in the centre with the umpires, and Belmont won the toss and elected to bat first. So looks like the Black Roses will be chasing the runs down this afternoon or this evening. So both teams just sort of running through the paces before they get out there in the middle. You can see the bright pink ball there on your screen. And see CBs are walking out there onto the pitch now. So you got the fancy uniforms on. And probably lucky that it isn't 30-odd degrees today. It'll be very warm in that navy blue uniform. So we're just waiting for the Belmont batsmen to come out. I'll quickly run through the team sheets for both sides. Belmont with Hainsworth and Look, Geary, Norton, Bailey, Muddle, Simons, Savage, Neville and Pearce. Can't quite read the handwriting for that other player. I'll get that up very shortly for you. It's Clayton Clark. And for Cardiff, their side is Nick Watkins, Shannon Bills, Pete Nielsen, Richard Green, Brady Conlon, Matt Edwards, Jay Snedden, Daniel Nicotra, Nathan Tiller, Dan Carter and Matt Willett. Apologies if I've read some of those names wrong. I'm just trying to read somebody else's handwriting, so the best we can. CBs break out of their huddle now. And should be in for a good afternoon or evening of cricket. There's no canteen open today, so if you are thinking about coming down, make sure you bring the esky, a couple of pies, bring a couple extra for the production crew here at Bar TV as well. So still no sign of the Belmont batsmen coming out. They're in no hurry. Probably looking for a set of pads. Out they come now. Fancy uniforms of the Belmont boys. They'll certainly stand out here today amongst the CB's fielders.
We certainly won't lose them later on if it gets dark like it did last week.
Certainly will. If you're just wondering who that voice is, it's Chris McPherson from Sports Castle. Good afternoon, Chris.
Afternoon, Paul. A little bit grey than some of the weather we've had here for the last 2.5 weeks of the competition. So it'll be interesting to see, as I just touched on, how that light holds. We had the greyer day when the Hamwicks and Charlestown played here, and picking up the ball late certainly became very difficult. I was just having a chat with the respective teams, and they're certainly very aware of the fact that it's going to become quite difficult if we do go the full distance in terms of time and overs to pick up that ball.
So it looks like Dan Carter's going to open the bowling for Cardiff in shirt number 9. And the 31 of Alex Look. Looks like he'll face the first ball for the Whips. So a couple of people in here early. You can see behind the bowler. So underway here. First ball down leg side. And the umpire calls a wide, so pretty good start for Belmont.
Yeah, nothing like to get the team off to a start with a freebie. I'll be very happy with that start and use it as a good opportunity just to get a bit of sight on the pace of the ball.
So coming again, I'm a bit close into the pads. I'll pick up one. Think about the second. No, they're happy with just the one. So none for two. So not much of a breeze here at number 1 Sports Ground today. It's pretty mild conditions. There is a bit of cloud cover around. Hopefully that rain will stay away. No prediction of rain so far. Bit of a short ball straight through to the keeper. Carter so far, just the one freebie, and the score reads there none for 1. It's actually none for 2. I'll try and get that sorted for you very shortly. As Carter comes in again, this time to Hainsworth. Just a sneak down to third man. They'll just pick up another single. So a pretty conservative start here from both teams. Carter coming in again from the Parry Street end. Bit fuller delivery and it's bowled him, that's why. So the breakthrough for Carter. A wicket in the first over. And it's gone straight through Hainsworth. And Belmont are 1 for 3.
It's a massive wicket, that one. He's been the spine of the Belmont innings in their first 2 wins in the Summer Bash. A score in the 70s and a score in the 60s, not out in both games. So he's accounted for about 140 of 220 runs for Belmont so far in this tournament. So big wicket having Hainsworth there.
Here it is, clipping off stump. So Hainsworth on his way back to the pavilion. And they're 1 for 3. Still, of course, there was the wide of the first ball. There's still 2 to come.
Looks like we've got a bit of a mix-up there. That was Alex Cook that was out. So the danger man, Hainsworth, is at the non-strikers end.
Well,
so a little bit of preemptive celebration for Cardiff fans listening to our commentary.
It's always good to get a dummy thrown early in the innings. So Carter in again. Another full delivery, straight back to the bowler, no run. Just trying to get all the rest of the numbers here for both teams. So Carter coming in again from the Parry Street end of the ground. Short off the leg, so pinch one here is going to be close. It's been a misfield. So leg bye called by the umpire. And that is the end of the first over. So Belmont 1 for 4 after the first over. So we'll be going through those players' mind, losing a wicket in the first over. So the new bowler is going to be Nathan Hillier from the Junction end.
Last time we saw young Nathan bowl here, he actually found himself on a hat-trick. One of 3 bowlers so far at number 1 Sports Ground through the Summer Bash who's been on a hat-trick. So hopefully he can emulate that again and go through and carry a hat-trick for the Cardiff Boolaroo fans.
So he comes now, Hillier. It's up in the air and it's been taken. So another wicket falls. Willett taking the catch. So Belmont in all sorts of strife here at 2 for 4. Just spoon that one up to gully. That was a pretty easy catch in the end. Here it is on the replay. Hillier, nice delivery. He's gone for the drive. It's just off the middle of the bat, and that one's just easy for Matt Willett.
Yeah, it looks like he just rolled his hand over that one a little bit, took a bit of pace off it, and Toby Gray just didn't quite read the pace of that delivery, and as you said, spooned it to the fielder, who made it look very easy, that take.
So, can't quite pick up the new batsman there that's come out onto the field. Looks like 13, Jack Norton. Or is it number 12? It's very hard to see from my angle.
It is Jack Norton. You hit the nail on the head with that one there.
So Hillier, no mistaking him. Shirt 18. One delivery, one wicket. It's all too easy. So Norton to face his first delivery. And he drives pretty much the same area, but no run. That one along the ground. A couple of cars streaming in here to number 1 sports ground. Plenty of room. Come down. Bring the picnic basket. Enjoy some summer bash cricket here in Newcastle. Hillier in again. Norton goes to cut that one, but the umpire calls wide. So Sundry's top scorer at this stage. So Hillier coming in again. Norton just lets that one go through to the keeper. Well watched. And 2 down. I guess that's a smart thing to do. Plenty of overs left. So Hillier again. Into Norton. Not yet off the mark. Full delivery drives. I'll pick up 1 this time. So you've got 5 on the offside, the Black Roses. 3 on the leg side. There's the third man as well. No slip in place. So Hillier in again. Look, a slower ball. He slashed that over cow corner. That'll go for 4. So that's the first boundary of the afternoon. So there'll be 2 for 10. And that is, we should have 1 more to go here. I thought the umpire was going to give the cap back to Hillier. Here it is on the replay. Just a bit of a tonk over there. Quite safe. There's no man back there. Push the man back into that area where I was just hit. So last ball, the Hillier over. He's gone the drive, he's beaten the bowler, but they'll pick up no run. So that's the end of the second over. And Belmont are 2 for 10. That's the 1 boundary from that over. Looks like it'll be Cardiff to continue. Why not? Took a wicket in his first over.
As I touched on before, a lot of expectation on the man at the non-strikers there, Marcus Hainsworth. Of the players in their team today who are not out, no other players scored more than 10 runs so far in the 2 outings that they've had. So Marcus on about 142 before this match from the 2 knocks. So a lot of expectation and pressure on him.
That one's close. The umpire thought about it, but I'll let off there for Belmont. Hard to tell from the angle we're on. But, we'll trust the umpire's judgment. Here it is again on the replay. Well, it was low enough. Picked up a run there too. So 2 for 11, Belmont. Carter coming in again. This time to Hainsworth. Hainsworth look for the big pull shot. I'll pick up another one. So Hainsworth, he moves along to 5 runs with that one. Here comes Carter in again. It's in on the pads. So I'll pick up another one. It's good running.
Continues to stray onto the batsman's pads. There's going to be some easy runs this leg side, not heavy with fielders. There's a big gap there that they can quite easily either drop it into or push it out towards the boundary for 1 or 2 runs without much risk.
Carter in again down leg side, and looked like Hainsworth, he might have been a slower ball. Seemed to lose that one. No run, so a bit of luck there for CBs. Bit of an eerie feeling here at number 1 Sports Ground. It's very quiet, not much talk from Cardiff. Carter in again. Hainsworth winds up. He beats the field there at mid-on. It could go to the fence for 4. And it will make it. So it's the second boundary for the Whips. 2 for 17 now. So even though they lost the 2 early wickets, they're still ticking along nicely with the run rate. There it is on the replay. Nice stroke. Beat the fielder easy. He's hard to judge for the batsman out there if it is going to go for 4. The outfielders had a lot of damage to it due to the wildlife, the cockatoos. That one's down leg side. That'll be a wide as well. There was easily over 200 cockatoos on the ground here before the first ball was bowled. Quite extraordinary. One of the Cardiff players grabbed a football and just kicked the ball straight to the lot of them, and that cleared them all out. So I think they're over at number 2 now. Nice drive there again, no run. And that's the end of the 3rd over. Belmont 2 for 18. So make this summer bash possible. Big thanks to Newcastle City Council. Also Kingsgrove Sports for your bats, balls, your thigh pads, hats, DPs. Kingsgrove Sports, that's the place to go. Also Instant Access. And of course Sports Castle. The boys down on the sideline doing a great job. Here comes Hillier again. Full ball. Umpire signals it's below the waist. So he's lucky to get away with that one, young Hillier.
The umpires have been very reluctant to call them across the tournament. The benefit of the doubt's been going to the bowler in most cases. I don't think we've seen too many at all. There's been a few waist high and even higher ones that have been let go consistently throughout.
So Hillier in again to Norton. Big heave-ho again. They're going to pinch a single. So 2 for 19 now.
Just having a chat to Cardiff coach Prawns Curry. To those in the Newcastle cricket circles will know him quite well. He's a stalwart of Newcastle and country cricket. Talking about young Nathan Hillier. Big frame of a lad. He's only 17 still, so Prawns guarantees me he's still got some more growing to go, so he could be a fairly fearsome prospect in years to come.
So just making a few adjustments to the field. Still 5 on the offside, plus the 3rd man. Here comes Hillier in again. Short balls, and umpire's called a wide. So the freebies, they're helping Belmont So here comes Hillier again from the junction in here at number 1 Sports Ground. Norton on strike, full of ball, slashed away. They'll pick up one. They won't think about the second. That's not a bad throw there. Young Snedden down there on the deep with a good arm. We'll be heading out to CB's training Friday with Bar TV for the One Stump Challenge. So hopefully the boys have got plenty of practice in.
If they field anything like they did here the other night against Merriweather, it was absolutely impressive. Jay Snedden threw down one stump from the boundary to run one of the Merriweather batsmen out, so they've got the skills in that department. Hopefully under the pressure of your camera, Paul, they can step up.
I'm sure they'll be right. Any cricketer from Cardiff. Hillier in again. Drive, oh, well fielded there. He's certainly saved 4 there. He's got a hand to it, or fingers to it anyway. Shannon Bills in there, close on the square. You see a couple of good spectators turning up. It's slowly. Well, it won't fill up, but obviously it would be good to get a few more down here to number 1 Sports Ground and support local cricket. Here comes Hillier again. There's that wide delivery again. No run. As the sun tries to fight its way through the clouds. It'd be quite muggy out there in the centre of the ground. So the last delivery here of Hillier's, a second over. That's in course unless he bowls a no ball or a wide. Sending a man back for the straight hit. We've even got a greyhound here, just wandering around the background of the. So here comes Hillier again. We'll pinch up another one. He's calling for 2. If outfielders seem to lose that, and they'll pick up 2 easily. So 2 for 24 after 4 overs here.
Just joined by Belmont youngster down here, Toby Gray. Toby, obviously not the start you're looking for.
No, not at all.
A couple of quick wickets certainly dented the early run rate. The boys have steadied the ship. Hainsworth out there is in pretty good T20 form.
Yeah, no, he's been going really well, scoring it well over a run of ball for both games so far. So hopefully he can do a job for us today.
So we're at 2 for 24 after 4 overs, a couple of overs of the power play to come. What do you think is going to be a defendable total out there?
Not sure at the moment. Probably looking to get around 160 at the moment.
Yeah, so anything north of 130 has been pretty defendable, so 160 would certainly be good, and obviously light will be in your favour, fielding late.
Yeah, that'll be big bonus for us.
Carter in again. It's in with the pads again. He's
Oh,
been
and there's
given this
another one.
time.
That's a little disappointing, mate. I might leave you to go and regroup with the teammates. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Cheers.
So Carter picks up his 2nd wicket. Not much of a celebration there from the CB's lads, but the Whips lose their 3rd wicket. LBW, and so the batsman's refusing to leave there. Norton, he's not happy. Hainsworth there on screen, hands on hips. Here it is on the replay. Oh, it's hit him on the back pad.
I think his debate might have been whether or not he got some bat on it.
Well, he might have been lucky the over before. Maybe that's a square up. Possibly not. But, anyway, it's 3 for 24 now. Norton heading back to the pavilion. I think we've all been in that position where we reckon we've hit it and been given out.
Yeah, not too often for me. I very often struggle to get bat on ball. It was much easier for me to get my pads on them. You really need a bit of a partnership here just to steady the ship. It's not even about runs at this stage. It's just going to be about trying to bat out the overs so that they do have the advantage of that late fading light, because if they do fall 4 or 5 overs short of their innings, it makes it a lot easier for the CBs.
So Bailey's new man in. He got underneath that one a little bit there. Min on full. Thought he was a bit of a chance there of getting another catch. Daniel Bailey, the new batsman of the crease. Interesting. I think what the batsmen were disputing was that they crossed. Hainsworth has been sent back down to the non-strikers end. So pretty tight field. CB's have got it all around the Whips batsman. Slower ball. No run there. Nice slow ball that from Dan Carter out the back of the hand. So Daniel Bailey, shirt 33. We'll probably need about that many runs from him today. Here comes Carter in again. No run again. So pretty good start for young Carter. This is his third over. We may see him bowl out. Bailey still can't get away for a run. Angling in at the pads again.
I'll be correct in saying, Paul, if this one's a dot as well, that'll be a wicket maiden.
I think so.
He's bowling a really good line now. He struggled a little bit to settle into the line in the first couple of overs, I think, but really just bowling it nice and straight, bowling to that field so they can't get away that run on the leg side and the gap we were talking about earlier.
Carter in again. Short down leg side and the umpire calls wide. So another freebie. So if you tuned into the coverage on Bar TV Sports on the Facebook page, let us know where you're watching from. So Carter's last ball of his third over into Bailey. I'll pick up another one here. And that will be the end of the over. And it's Belmont 3 for 26 after 5 overs. If you just joined us, we're at number 1 sports ground here in Newcastle District Cricket. Summer Bash, week 3. Bar TV's been here the last few weeks, bringing you all the games from number 1 sports ground. There is a game tomorrow. I'll just try and bring up, let you know who that is between. And it's between the Sabres and the Sea Dragons. So a bit of a local derby in here at Newcastle tomorrow. City up against University. But at the moment we've got the boys from Lake Macquarie, Belmont up against Cardiff Boolaroo. We've got a bowling change as well for CBs. So Shannon Bills coming on. I'll pick up one out there. There's a man out there in the deep. Hidden behind the sight screen there. So the first bowling change here for CBs. There's Hainsworth on screen. A lot of work to do. He won't mind the challenge. So Bill's in again. Hainsworth winds up. There's 2 men out there. I'll only pick up another one. So Carter's bowled 3 overs, 2 for 12. And Hillier, 2 overs, 1 for 12. Here comes Bills in again. He goes for a slash. He'll just pick up another one. So there's easy singles out there for Belmont on that leg side. If you just joined us, they're 3 down, Belmont. Alex Cook was the first man to go. He's bowled Carter for 1. And Gray was dismissed, bowled Hillier for 0. And then a moment to go as that one slashed. There's another one. No, it's been put down. Well, could that come against CB's a little later on? Matt Edwards, the man there on screen.
Yeah, Matt Edwards looking very casual in the approach to that one. I think it just got to him a little bit quicker than he expected. He didn't really look like he had his hands quite set, and it just went through.
Well, I'll try again. Bills. Bailey, this one has gone straight up in the air. This one's going to be difficult. It's going to fall between them all. In the end, it's good placement.
Thought he was going to have an instant chance at redemption then. That would have been an absolute screamer if he had got to that. Up there with that catch that we saw in week 1 from Pat Houlihan.
Yeah, certainly. The wicket-keeper from Hemwicks. That was a beauty. So Bills, bowling with no luck at the moment. I'll take another single on the leg side. Another misfield. But no extra run. So it's the end of the over. 6 gone for CBs, and it's 3 for 33 here at #1 Sports Ground here in Newcastle. You're watching the Summer Bash here on Bar TV Sports. If you're watching on Facebook, let us know where you're watching from. There's plenty of support from Belmont. Michelle Lee, come on Belmont. Grant Oric, let's go Belmont. Well, unfortunately for you guys, your team's in a bit of strife. Keep the messages coming through on Facebook. Let us know where you're watching from. So Carter's going to bowl all these 4. Don't see this too often. The opening bowler just goes straight through and bowls his entire 4 overs, but we're going to see it here.
It's been a real mixed bag with how the captains have approached it. Some have had 6 different bowlers in the power play, others doing what they're doing here, 2 or 3.
So another full delivery. I'll grab a single this time, Bailey.
And looking back through the results, it's not a clear or decisive victory either way for either of those tactics. It seems to be a horses for courses, what's working for each side. So it's not that there's a right or wrong approach to it.
So Hainsworth on strike. Carter comes in again. Short delivery. It's pulled around. That'll be 4. So the 3rd boundary there for Belmont. And that it's all too easy. Just straight down leg side a little bit. And Hainsworth just helped it on its way, really. So as far as CB is concerned, the danger man's still in. Here comes Carter. He's just driven that straight back to the bowler. Well stopped. So Carter in again from Parry Street end of the ground. Nice stroke there again. The man's coming around. They should pick up 2. Bailey's coming back for the 2nd. Well run. They go to the danger end and lucky it was backed up there. It was a horrible bounce for the wicketkeeper. So it was well backed up by the number 6, Matt Willett. Can Carter pick up a 3rd? Hainsworth. He's cut that. It's beaten the fielder out there. Could go for 4. The fielder's coming around. It's a good pick up. Good return too. So another couple there for the whips. He's pretty quick out there, Jay Snedden. I didn't think he was going to make that one, but he did really well to save 2 runs.
I was told by Benny Homer the other night that he's actually a soccer goalkeeper. He looks like he moves much more like an outfield player.
On the wing. Hainsworth looked to advance there. No run. That's the end of Carter's spell. Very good one. And Belmont a 3 for 42 after 7 here at number 1 Sports Ground. So it will be Shannon Bills to continue from the junction end. Bailey will take strike.
Just a quick update from Passmore Oval. We've got Wallsend batting first after winning the toss. They are 2 for 44 off 8 overs, 30 of those 44 runs to their skipper Nathan Price. He's obviously harvesting the strike there, Pricey, and looking at a big score as he goes on.
So Bills in for his second over. A nice drive there. There's a man down there. It's Matt Edwards down there for the straight hit. Good spell from Dan Carter. 4 overs, 2 wickets for 21. He'd be happy with that. Here comes Bills again. Another full delivery. And another single. I guess Cardiff would be happy if they just keep taking singles like this.
Yeah, it looks like Shannon's got a bit of a plan here just to pitch it right up and be happy to accept that if they do drive him down the ground that it's going to go for a single. If they miss time it a little bit, there might be a catch to that short man.
Full delivery, no run. So pretty even start, even though Belmont's lost the 3 early wickets. Still picking up runs. Another 4-1. This could split the fielders. Snedden's coming around. He's a whip it out there. I'll pick up another 2, Belmont. So good running. Looking the way Jay Snedden goes, so if they had a sprint race with all the cricketers here, he could be in the top 3. Bill's in again, another full delivery. Snedden's got a bit of work to do again. This time it's going to beat him. Well, you give a man a rap, and that's what happens. Nice strike from Dan Bailey. He's like, try and get this one. Here it is. Another full toss. It's clubbed nicely along the ground.
Very smart
Almost
batting
got
by,
there.
very smart batting by Dan Bailey there. He just took a big stride down the pitch to really affect the length, and Shannon Bills misfired and made it fuller rather than shorter.
Better delivery, but they'll pick up 1. Hainsworth was looking for a second, but Bailey wasn't interested at all. So the fielders on that leg side were quite deep. That is the end of the over. And the whips are 3 for 51 after 8 overs here at number 1 Sports Ground.
Yeah, after all those early wickets in the power play, Hainsworth and Bailey have done a really good job here. They haven't given away too many chances. Obviously, there was that one drop, but to right a ship with a 27-run partnership, and if they can carry this on for a little bit longer, it certainly put Belmont in a really good stead for posting that total that young Toby Gray was talking about, that sort of 150, 160, still within the realms of being executed if they can keep these wickets in hands now with strikers like Bailey and Hainsworth at the crease.
So we're going to have a bit of spin. Going to have a bit of spin here for CBs. It's Daniel Nikotra. I believe he's the import for Cardiff Boolaroo. Let's see how he goes. And well, it's a pretty good start really, because the other bowlers, they bowled wides first up. So at least he got that one on the pitch. Hainsworth on strike now. Kotra, his second delivery. It's not a bad delivery. Umpire, he had a long look at that one. Said, nope, not out. Kotra is still asking the question. He's on his knees, begging. The umpire says not today. Here it is on the replay. Nice flight. It's hit him on the front pad. Here he is again. Well, he's gone over the top this time. Another appeal. But, I didn't see the umpire call buys there, so obviously Hainsworth got a bit of bat to that one. So Bailey, he'll face Nicotra for the first time. Forward defence, no run. So Nicotra in again to Daniel Bailey. He's gone to pull this around the corner. It's missed everything. I'll pick up a single. So a pretty good over so far here for Nick Cotra. It's going to beat the man there at point. There's another man coming around. It's not going to quite make the rope, or the chalk in this case here at number 1. And that's the end of the over. So a good one there for CBs. 9 overs gone, 3 for 56. There's a reasonable crowd in here, all scattered around the ground here at number 1 Sports Ground. No canteen facility, but if you're thinking about making a buck, maybe come down with a barbecue. Could be a good idea. So Matt Willett in shirt 6, he'll be coming to bowl from the junction end. He replaces Shannon Bills. He's 2 overs, none for 16. Daniel Bailey on strike. Very good look around the field. 6 on the offside now, and all the fielders on the leg side, they're all out on the deep. So comes Willett, his first delivery. Gone for the big heave-ho there, but no run from Bailey. Breeze seems to have turned around here from my vantage point here at number 1 Sports Ground. We're in the Newcastle City AFL Pavilion. Here comes Willett again. Dancing down the pitch, it's gone straight up in the air. There's a man underneath it. It's a difficult one, but he's taken it. Great catch there, Peter Nielsen. Matt Willett gets his first wicket, and Belmont lose their 4th. 4 for 56 here at number 1 Sports Ground.
That was a great job there by Pete Nielsen to get around. He got there early, set himself. The ball was moving around a bit in the wind right in front of me down here on the boundary, but he just settled under it, as you'll see here in the replay. Took his time. He's a little bit off balance, but made sure of it. A pretty well-executed outfield catch there.
Yeah, difficult ones to take. As I said, that wind's picked up a little bit in the last over or two. He's done very well, Nielsen, to take this one. Great camera work there too. Off balance, takes it. Interesting, watching Matt Willett bowl this. I'm not sure if he's got any socks on. I was watching the replay.
The sacrifice you have to make when you dash here from work and forgot to put them in the bag this morning. I don't know if you want to borrow someone else's socks that could be last week's from the Saturday game, that's for sure.
Someone get to number 1 Sports Ground and get Matt Willett some socks. Here he comes in again. He's cut that away. He'll pick up a single.
Big W's only just across the road. You would have thought he could have dashed across there before the game or sent the 12th man surely.
So he's just calling the man in from the chalk here for the straight hit. That's Edwards. As you can see there in the bottom corner of your screen, he's just come up and a bit finer. So Willett in again, full of delivery. And there's a really good ring around the batsmen's here. They've got the gully and almost 2 points. So there's not much room if the batsman bowls full to get it away. Slower ball there, but Muddles picked it up. So 4 for 57 here, Belmont. I think survival, just get through the 20 overs would be the first tick off the list. Willett in again. Plain miss there from Muddle. Half appeal from Willett, but no one else was interested. That is the end of the over. 10 gone, the halfway mark here of the Belmont innings, and they are 4 for 57.
Certainly be interesting to see in this second innings how much batting depth Cardiff has. They did quite well to chase down their total against Merriweather and were fairly competitive. But in terms of missing their 2 Indian guns in Varun Sharma and Rahul Bakshi.
Well, another dot ball here. Daniel Nick Kotra. He's proving a little handy here for CB so far. A bit fuller. Hainsworth gets it away. There's a man out there. They'll come back for a second. Good arm that. So 2 more to Hainsworth. And 4 for 59.
Yeah, as I touched on there, Sharma and Bakshi both out suspended after an incident in the field between the two of them in the first T20 match.
Kotra in again. Hainsworth, he cuts the same position, but this time there's no run. Willett is there. Nick Kotra. He's gone for the big hit. There's a man out there again. He's going to take this one. So Belmont 5 down. Another wicket here, and it's proving too easy for CBs. 5 for 59. And the vital wicket of Marcus Hainsworth gone. Here it is on the replay. He's got underneath it, but just not enough on it.
It's the first time a side's managed to take that wicket in the Summer Bash. Red ink in the first 2 games for Hainsworth, so he'll be a little bit dirty with himself there. And the Cardiff Boolaroo boys, they'll be quite confident now they've taken that key wicket, and they'll be hoping to potentially tear through this tail so they don't have to take on the dim light at the back end of their innings.
Yeah, well, that is a good point. There's plenty of cloud cover here today at #1 Sports Ground, so you would think the lights would be used at some stage in the second innings. Nick Kotra, the man there on screen, he's picked up his first wicket.
Not a renowned wicket taker for his club, Blacktown, down in Sydney. Very economical bowler, tends to go for less than 6 and over.
Well, that was a good one. He almost got through there, Bailey.
Certainly appears.
Muddle, I should say. I'm getting muddled up now.
Certainly appears he's been used by his side down there, more of a strangler, for want of a better term, while the strike bowlers bowl from the other end just to put the pressure on. So good to see him doing both, being economical and taking a key wicket here.
So Dom Simons, he's the new batsman out there, taking guard now. First delivery, it looked like it hit him above the knee roll. The umpire, who looks a bit like Jeff Lawson, says not out. Here it is on the replay. The man down there at long mid off appealed for that one. So 11 overs gone. Belmont 5 for 60 and a There'll be Matt Willett to continue.
Over at Passmore Oval, looks like a very similar story. 5 for 66. Their key man Nathan Price falling for 46. Their 12 overs gone, so very similarly poised to this Belmont innings.
So Willett into the new batsman, no run. So if you're watching the stream on Bar TV on the Facebook page, let us know where you're watching from. Pick up a single there on leg side. All the men on that offside, on the leg side, I should say, they're very deep, but still only the one run. Richard Green out there in the floppy hat. Full of ball there, and they'll pick up another one. I think CBs are happy for them to pick up the one or two on those on the leg side. There's good running from Belmont. Every run vital at this stage. So they've moved a man just on the edge of the square on leg side, just to probably prevent the Belmont players from picking up easy runs. So Willett in again, full of ball, and batsman hit it straight into the area where the fieldsman just was, and they'll pick up another two. So 5 for 65. We're hoping to get to 100. Anything over that will be a bonus, you'd think, at this stage. So Willett in again. Another one, they'll pick up a single. Green's the man down there. So Muddle will face up here for the last ball of Willett's second over. He looks to drive, he's beaten the man. They'll pick up one more. Edwards coming around. And that is the end of the 12th over. Belmont 5 for 67. If you just joined us, Belmont won the toss and elected to bat first. But unfortunately, wickets have fallen pretty regularly. And they find themselves in a bit of trouble at 5 for 67.
I think the Belmont side will take a little bit of solace from the fact I think the stats say 3 of the last 16 sides to chase here have been successful, so that weighs in their favour.
So another forward defence there from Muddle. This is Daniel Nicotra's third over. He's got 1 for 8 so far. Matt Willett down the other end's also got 1 for 8 off 2 overs. Nicotra in again. Muddle tries to beat Green. Nice flick back there. It's a bit of indoor cricket magic there.
Very deceptive in the field, Richard Green. He's got a handy little arm. As you say, he's got some indoor cricket skills and moves a little bit better than he might suggest when he's standing there. So, dangerous fielder to try and take on.
Nick Cotra in again. Simons goes for the big wind up straight along the ground. They'll pick up another one. Cotra, Fuller, straight back to him, so he's keeping them pinned here. It's a real arm wrestler out there for the batsman. Taps this way, goes straight to the fielder. He's sent back. No run again. 2 from it so far. So last ball, Nick Kotra's over. And just a forward defence there from Luke Muddle. That is the end of the 13th over. And Belmont at 5 for 69. Nick Kotra now 2 for 10. Oh, sorry, 1 for 10 after 3 overs. If you just joined us, 5 wickets down Belmont. Hainsworth, he's top scored, he got 30. But before that, Cook was out for 1, bowled Carter. Gray also out for a duck, bowled Hillier. Norton, he was LBW for 4. Bailey was caught, Nielsen bowled Willett for 17. And as I said, Hainsworth was caught, Nielsen bowled Nick Kotra for 30. So here comes Willett, this is his 3rd over. Don Simons will pick up an overthrow here. I think he'll be happy with that. So Willett will come in to Luke Muddle this time. Muddle's again straight to the fielder. They've certainly picked out the fielders here today, Belmont. So Willett in again. He's come down the pitch this time. They'll pick up another single. Edwards is out there in the deep. So David Redden, he's watching from Woi Woi. Thanks, David, for tuning into the Bar TV's coverage here. Let us know where you're watching from. So Willett in again. Oh, this one's up high. It's going to beat the fielder. That's gone for 6. So Belmont, I'll be happy with that. I want a few more. It's gone way back past the hill. Ball's still rolling. It's a lovely stroke. Here it is on the replay. Wasn't much wrong with the delivery. But, he just got right underneath that one. So Don Simons, can he be the man for Belmont? Willett in again to Simons. Looked like he thought about it. Well fielded there. They'll pick up one. He could be in some trouble. So he got home there, Simons. Good pick up and throw. So 5 for 78 Belmont. The odd boundary or 6, that'll certainly help them. Willett in again. Muddle trying to get it past that man close in on the square, but no run. That is the end of the over. 14 gone here at the #1 sports ground here in Newcastle. Belmont at 5 for 78 here in the Summer Bash. The Summer Bash is made possible thanks to Newcastle City Council. So Kingsgrove Sports. Also the Mex over there at Mayfield. And
joined down here, Paul, by Marcus Hainsworth, the Belmont skipper. First time out in the Summer Bash, mate.
Yeah, pretty lucky today with the innings, a chance or two. And the wicket was a little bit trickier. The wicket over at Waratah has been pretty flat, so it suited me nicely. But it was a little bit quicker today, which a few of the boys aren't used to. So you just needed a fraction to get used to the wicket and then try and play some shots as soon as you did.
So Nick Kotrick in again. No run there. Well fielded.
We talked to Toby Gray before. He was talking about a total of about 160. I think that might be a little bit optimistic now.
Mate, yeah, I think 160 is definitely out of the window. Something around the 120 mark, I'll be pleased with. I think it's defendable. It's probably not as defendable on one of the biggest grounds in Newcastle, being #1. But with our bowlers, we'll probably pull it better as a bowling unit than a batting unit. So something 120, run a ball, we can definitely bowl to, and I reckon we'll probably get the chocolate. So.
Have we got some guys coming in the tail who can swing a bit? We might see some fireworks from just to add to that total.
Yeah, well, as you said, being not out, a few of them are pretty keen for a hit. They haven't had a bat yet, so hopefully if they get their chance, they'll be clearing the rope and try and get us up to anything past 120.
Lovely. Thanks very much for your time, Marcus.
No worries at all. Thank you.
So back with the action, Nick Kotrick. He'll bowl out his 4 overs. Comes in again. Muddle trying to get away there. He just can't beat that man there, just on the edge of the square. Kotrick in again to Muddle. Chance there. Well, no, he's been sent back by Simons. Muddle wanted to get off strike, but Simons sent him back. And that's the end of the over. 5 for 84 here at number 1 Sports Ground. 15 overs gone. Willett will continue from the junction end. 5 for 83, in fact. The score is. And Nick Kotrick, 3 overs, 1 for 10. Matt Willett has figures of 1 for 17 off 3. Dan Carter, he's bowled out all his 4. He picked up 2 for 21. Hillier still has 2 left. He's got 1 for 12. Here comes Willett. Full delivery, it's beaten the man there. And just another one there. Moving along to 84. Nice drive there. There's a man out there. That's Edwards. Come back for the second. No. Bit of hesitation there from the Belmont boys. After you're 5 down, that's understandable.
Admittedly, they've lost a few wickets here, but they're certainly going to have to be eyeing off either the next over or the one after that to really get going to post that competitive total.
Simons winds up there. They'll be looking for 2 here again. The fielders come around. Sneddon, he's got a fire rocket arm. He makes it back, so well run there from Don Simons and Luke Muddle. So Willett in again to Muddle. I'll just pick up the 1 this time. It's Muddle on strike now, and 32-25, the shirts. Getting a bit muddled up. Anyway, Willett to continue. To Luke Muddle. Looks to drive again, he doesn't get that one away. There's a lot of full deliveries from Cardiff, and it's working. So this will be the last delivery for Matt Willett. Good delivery to finish off too. So that is the end of the 16th over. Belmont are 5 for 89 here at number 1 Sports Ground here in Newcastle. This is the Summer Bash. Hope you're enjoying the coverage of Newcastle District Cricket. As I mentioned before, our sponsors, they've done a great job to make this possible. Newcastle City Council, Kingsgrove Sports, the Mex at Mayfield, also Instant Access, and of course down on the sideline Sports Castle, doing all the interviews with the players. It looks like it's going to be Hillier coming back on from the northern end of the ground here at number 1 Sports Ground, or the Parish Street end. Hillier has bowled 2 overs, 1 for 12. Not our batsman at the moment is Luke Muddle. He's on 6 from 23. Don Simons is not out, 19 off 12. Simons on strike. There's another full toss. It's just going to a plug between the 2 fielders. So Another full toss to start there from Hillier, and it's obviously the game plan from CVs to bowl full, but obviously not too full. So Luke Muddle on strike to Hillier. And no run again. That man there, he's been fairly busy on the edge of the square. He saved a fair few runs today for CBs. So Hillier looking for his second wicket. Muddle on strike. Cuts away, good fielding there from Matt Willett. Just the single. Brings Simons back on strike. So if you're watching the stream, send us a message through. Let us know what you think Belmont will end up. Will they make the 100? Will they make 120? 3 and a bit overs to go. Here's Simons on strike again. That one's inside edge. This could go all the way to the chalk for 4. The fielders are chasing it down. Very close there. They'll pick up 2 more. We'll chase that from Matt Edwards. So they're getting closer to that 100 mark. I think from my count, here it is on the replay. We might have that shortly. Anyway, back with the action. Hillier. I'll pick up another single here. So plenty of room down here at number 1 Sports Ground if you want to come down and watch some summer bash cricket. So make sure you bring the rug and the picnic basket. Hillier continuing from the Parry Street end. He's got it through the gap there. He'll come back for the second. It's going to be dangerous. But the throw's missed everything. And the batsman's home safely. That is the end of the over. 17 gone. Belmont 5 for 97 here at Newcastle's number 1 Sports Ground. And Doug Petrosic, he's given us a tip for 135. 3 overs remaining. I'll have to get a wriggle on, but Doug, we'll see and find out if you're right.
Need about 13 and over from here. Certainly get the moderate crowd that we've got here a little bit excited if we saw that, Paul.
Certainly will. And Shannon Bills, he's coming back into the attack from the junction end. He's been pretty busy in the field. He's winded up there, and that's going to beat the fielders, you would think. No, it's just plugged in the outfield. He's certainly got plenty on it. He's been unfortunate there. The outfield, it's copped a battering from the Cockatoos. In some of these areas on the field, either runs or just plugs. So Bill's coming in again. Big swing and a miss. Half a peel there from the CB's wicket keeper. The umpire wasn't interested at all. Nick Watkins, the wicketkeeper for CB's. So Bill's coming in again with these medium paces, dancing down the wicket. It's gone straight over the top, but it's gone straight to Edwards. And just another single. So I think from my account, you've got 1, 6 and 3 4s. Well, actually 4 boundaries, Belmont. So I just can't seem to find the rope. Bill's in again. Another big swing. This one could beat the fielder this time. Another good save, but they'll come back for 2. Pete Nielsen there, the man, saving 4 runs. So the fielding has been excellent from CBs. They've certainly saved a few boundaries. So Bill's in again. Big swing and miss there from Dom Simons, no run. I said Shannon Bills, he's been fairly busy in the field. He's saved a few potential boundaries, on the edge of the square and mid-on and mid-off. Proving pretty handy with the ball as well. Straight down there to Green. We'll come back for 2, so it's very good running from Belmont. And that's the end of the 18th over. It's Belmont 5 for 104. So their first target's down. Alex Lidbury, he's got a total of 122. David Redden's got 127, so there's a few there giving their scores. Thanks for that, guys. 2 overs to go, 104. That 120 mark is getting very close. Batsmen there just having a drink. They've worked hard. They've done a good job so far. Excuse me. So it'll be Hillier back on from the Parry Street end. Hillier coming into Muddle. He's going to go for a single this time. Bill's just whipped that into Watkins, the keeper. We're just letting the batsman know, don't try and pinch too many singles off me. So this is Hillier's last over. His figures of 1 for 21. Coming in again, this time Simons on strike. He advances, goes for the big hit. There's a man out there. So I'll just pick up 1. They're coming back for the second. It's very good running. And they do it easy in the end. So valuable runs being picked up here by Belmont. Simons, he moves along to 31. Muddle down the other end, he's on 12. So Hillier coming in again. Oh, it's missed everything. I think it went between his legs there. He's done well there, Simons.
Just doing a little bit of research down here around totals, Paul, and across the last couple of years at number 1 Sports Ground, no one has successfully chased anything higher than 104, barring one exception, which was a day game, which was last year's final, where the chase was 147.
Hillier in again. On the full delivery, they'll pick up 1. They'll be pushing for 2. But Dom Simons, he wasn't interested. He was happy to sit up the non-strikers end. Interesting that. So 108.
Certainly explain why Captain Marcus Hainsworth talked about that sort of high 110s to 120, and these guys with a partnership that's gone into the 50s now will be quite confident that they can get a few late runs here to put a competitive total up.
So Hillier in again. And this one's got plenty on it. That's gone all the way, surely. Second 6 of the afternoon. That one went sky high. I thought it was going to hit that truck down there. It's pulled up. And the fieldsman there, he had no chance. Super shot.
Yeah, I think Pete Nielsen thought he might have been in with a chance for a second high catch there in the outfield, but it was just too well struck, as you said. Did go a long way in the air, though, but more than enough on it after it cleared the fence.
Nielsen in again. This one time he goes on the offside. They'll be looking for 2. And again, Don Simons isn't interested in the second. That's the end of the Hillier spell. 19 overs gone. Belmont 5 for 115 here at number 1 Sports Ground. It's Doug Petrosic. He's gone for 118 now. He's wondering if he can change his bet. Keep the messages coming through on Facebook, on the Bar TV page.
I reckon we can let him change his bet as long as he doesn't change it again at the end of this over.
Well, Alex Lidbury, he's on par. He's a good chance. He predicted 122. It's the final over. Shannon Bills will bowl it. See that run rate? Just a touch over 6. So Bills comes in now. We'll be pushing for 2 again, but I don't think Simons is too interested. So Muddle will go down the non-strikers end. He's 19 from 32 deliveries, and Dom Simons 32 from 21. It's been a handy knock. Top score so far. Here comes Bills. He winds up again. And I'll just take another single. So Hillier finished up with 1 for 31 from his 4. Bills coming in again. Winds up for this one. This one's going to plug again. Oh, he's done well down there. Richard Green to field that. Sneddon throws it in. Picking up another 2. Very hard down there in the outfield. You don't know if the ball's going to plug or just kick on. So Bills coming in again. Looking to wind up. He could beat the fieldsman Willett. He's going to track it down. Coming back for a 2. I'll do it easy. Well run that from Luke Muddle. So 2 balls remaining here for Belmont. 5 for 121. It's been a good recovery. Bills in again. Muddle looks to wind up. That one's going to clear the fielder as well. Another 6 for Belmont. One was hit nice and clean.
Looks like the knowledge bank of the NCC Sunday Bash and Newcastle District Cricket, Dave Redden, might be on the money.
Yep. You'll just be hoping this is the dot ball. So Bills to bowl the final ball here. Advancing down. I'll pick up a single. So that is the end of Belmont's innings. 5 for 128 off 20 overs. So it's not a bad total considering they lost the early wickets of Cook for 1, Gray out for a duck, Norton for 4, and Bailey was gone for 17. Then Hainsworth out for 30. And Luke Muddle, he's ended up not out with 20. And Dom Simons with about 35. So they've done a pretty good job, Belmont. They recovered really well. So for CBs, Cardiff Boolaroo, Dan Carter 2 for 21. Nathan Hillier 1 for 31. Shannon Bills, he finished off with none for 31. Just trying to add up the math in my head. And Nick Kotra 1 for 11 off his 4. He was probably the most impressive of the bowlers. And Matt Willett 1 for 22. So we'll take a quick break here on Bar TV Sports. Cardiff Boolaroo will be chasing Belmont's total of 6 for 127. So welcome back here to number one sports ground here in Newcastle. See Belmont there on screen, and the batsman for Cardiff Boolaroo heading out to the middle. And it'll be Richard Green and Nick Watkins to open the innings for Cardiff. Chasing 127. There was a few problems with the scorers up in the box. So eventually got the right total. So 127 to win off 120 balls. And I think we're in for a good run chase. Belmont, they did well to really recover to get to that mark of 126. 5 for 126 they made. And at one stage they looked like they were going to be scratching to make 100. But good fight back. Thanks to Luke Muddle and Dom Simons. See what Green and Watkins can do. Can they get CBs off to a good start?
I certainly don't think it'll be a slow one if Richard Green's facing up. Last game when they took on Merriweather, he nearly took me out twice in the first over with booming cover drives. So he's not one known for quick singles between the wickets, Richard. Filling in at the top of the order, not his usual position. Rahul Bakshi, their normal opener that we touched on earlier, who's out suspended. So he won't leave the fans wondering, that's for sure, Richard Green.
So Daniel Bailey, he'll open the bowling for Belmont. A reasonable knock of 17 off 20. He come in when his team was in a bit of dire straits. He'll open up with a new ball. So plenty of talk you can hear through the effects mic. Umpire just signalling to the scorers that we're ready for play in the second innings. Black Roses chasing down 127. Bailey coming in now from the Parry Street end. Green goes for that big slash straight away. And it may just plug. I said certain parts of this outfield will plug or just kick on, and we saw it there. So Green will pick up 2. I think he's made his intentions very clear from the first ball.
Yeah, as I said, he's nothing but consistent to his game plan, Richard.
So Bailey in again. Green looks to wind up. That one split the fielders. That'll go for 4. Lovely stroke that from Richard Green. Just a bit too full outside off stump there, and Green's just punished Bailey. Saying that the fielders, they just couldn't do anything about that. That was going too quick. So we've got all the wildlife here. The kookaburras are on the ground, and they've got the magpies up here. As Green goes to the leg side now, no run. Yeah, certainly the wildlife gets pretty friendly here at number one sports ground. I got no food, unfortunately, guys. So Bailey on strike. Sorry, Bailey with the ball. Green on strike. Coming in again. He's wind down and he's taken the stumps. So Green's innings comes to an end. A very short innings. And Daniel Bailey gets the breakthrough. So it's 1 for 6 here after the first over. Here it is on the replay. Middle and off. Doesn't really matter. He's bowled. He's gone. And the Whips have their first wicket. So Richard Green, he finishes the day. 1 for 6 here, the Black Roses. So while there's this break in play, I'll just mention our sponsors, Newcastle City Council. So Kingsgrove Sports, the Mex at Mayfield, or Mayfield Ex-Services Club as it used to be known. Also Instant Access and Sports Castle. So CB's here, losing a wicket in the first over, as did Belmont. Daniel Nicotra faces his first ball. Goes through to the keeper. That one looked like it kept a little low from Bailey. Surprised Nicotra there a little bit. He goes and does a little bit of gardening work here at the centre of number 1 sports ground. So Bailey coming in again. Nicotra just lets that one go straight through to the keeper. That's the end of the first over. So 1 down for 6. Cardiff Boolaroo. 121 to win. If you're watching the game, let us know where you're watching from. And let us know also who you think's going to win. Will CBs get the runs, or will Belmont bowl them all out? So the new bowler is Nick Savage for the Whips. And Watkins, he'll face up. He's got the floppy hat on. Interesting, haven't seen 2 openers. Well, 1 opener's gone, but both wearing floppy hats. No run there.
Yeah, both Nick Watkins and Richard Green, probably cricketers of a bygone era, are coming out to open the batting in the floppies.
Careful what you see. Richard Green's just walked behind you there.
Yeah, that's all right. I won't say anything to offend him that he wouldn't have already said himself.
Savage into Watkins. Watkins cuts. I'll pick up 1. Kotrick says, no, that'll do.
I noticed the skipper also kept stumps in the floppy hat as well, so he's obviously quite attached to that and has no interest in a helmet even when keeping up with the stumps or batting to the fast bowlers.
No, it doesn't bounce. So Savage is making some adjustments to his field. 4 on the offside. Kotrick cuts well. This one the fielder's got a bit of work to do. It's Bailey Newell out there. I'll come back for 2. Savage looking to get his first wicket of the afternoon. Steaming in again. And there's a chance here. But, Watkins got back and then the fielder threw it to the wicketkeeper. Yeah, Nick Kotrick, he was in no mood to go for a single there. So Savage in again from the junction end of number 1 sports ground. Kotrick, forward defence there, no run. So if you just tuned into the stream and you're wondering what the hell this is all about, well, it's Belmont up against Cardiff Boolaroo in the Newcastle District Cricket Summer Bash. This is Nick Savage coming to bowl to Daniel Nick Kotrick. He'll pinch a single here. And that is the end of the second over. So the Black Roses, they're 1 for 10. Pretty even start this to the second innings. It doesn't look easy out there for the batsman. Just trying to work out who's going to bowl this third over. Looks like he's going to continue. No, it's Alex Cook this time coming on to bowl. So Belmont, they're going to mix the bowlers up. Unlike Cardiff Boolaroo, well, Dan Carter, he bowled out his 4 from the Parish Street end. So already Belmont taking a different approach here to bowling here in the second innings. So Daniel Nicotric on strike. Straight to the fielder. No run there. Zane Pell. So Cook coming in. Kotricky's gone for the big hit, but it's hit the stumps instead. So Cardiff Boolaroo, they lose their second wicket. And Belmont, they got their tail up now at 2 for 10 here in this third over of the Summer Bash. And to be a bit fair there to Nick Kotrick, it may have just kept it a little lower than he expected. Just clipped the top of off stump. Yeah, he was looking to pull that one over and just kept it a little low. So Cardiff Boolaroo lose their second wicket. They're 2 for 10. And all of a sudden, that total of 127 seems a long way away. So the new batsman is wandering out there, and number 1 is Shannon Bills. He's pretty handy with the ball in the first innings. Now he's got to try and contribute with the bat. So they've got 4 on leg side here, and a pretty scattered field on the offside. For one, he's flicked that away. That's going to beat the fielder. That will go for 4. So that'll help CBs there. Just loosen the tension a little bit. So Alec Cook, he's not a pretty good first up over there. That one just straying down leg side a little. And the fielder was no chance of catching that one. Here comes Cook in again to Bills. Oh, one short down leg side, and he's pulled that beautifully. That'll be another boundary. And I'm guessing that's what Nick Kotrick was trying to do a couple of balls before. And that one, it stayed up. And Bills just punished that one. Here it is on the replay. Lovely stroke. So Alex Cook coming in again. Bills on strike. Straight through to the keeper, and we've got a wide here. So proving a good over here for the Black Roses. Quite interesting. I've spent a lot of time at Cardiff. I've never seen a Black Rose. So Alex Cook in again to Bills. He cuts this one away. There's a man out there. That third man. Just pick up a single. Which brings Watkins on strike. So Cook finds his mark and now starts his run in to Watkins. Playing a miss there from Watkins straight through to the keeper. No run. That is the end of the third over. And it's the Black Roses 2 for 20 after 3 here at number 1 Sports Ground here in the Newcastle District Cricket Summer Bash.
It's interesting you touch on that name, the Black Roses, Paul. I have seen before, but I can't recount what the story is behind it. It's something as an alternative to the White Rose, which is obviously to do with the UK. And the White Rose, ironically, is actually the centre of their logo.
Yeah. A bit of a history lesson. I actually drew that White Rose many, many years ago.
You might be wasted in commentary, mate. You're not a bad artist.
What was it? The old Amiga computer, Deluxe Paint. I've just given away where I'm from too and who my allegiance is with too, as Daniel Bailey, he's coming from the junction end. He's cut away. Bills will pick up at least one.
It's got to say something for your commentary there that we've got 23 overs into the game before anyone would have had any inkling.
I've noticed a few people popping up in the Facebook feed that I recognise. So I haven't copped any sledging yet. So Daniel Bailey in again. Watkins on strike. Just a little tap away, just down the third man for another single.
Must be a decent breeding ground for commentators out there. The ABC's Josh Sim, who's joined us for a few of the nights here alongside Ben Homer, is also a ex-CB's man and was rocking his CB shirt proudly in commentary last week when they played.
Yeah, Josh Sim, he's actually a Thornton boy, but he spent a couple of years at CB's. Here's Bailey again. Forward defence, no run. So this game is very tight at the moment. 2 for 22. Black Roses. Won't want to lose another wicket here, you would think, in this this first 10 over period. Bill's looking to drive. He wanted to run. It's a direct hit. He would have been gone, but just off target. Chance there for Clayton Colbert. It was just off target. Bills was off. He did well to get back.
We're having a bit of a discussion the other night when Merriweather played Cardiff and Clayton's brother Harry was playing for Merriweather. Having a bit of a discussion whether or not it was Colbert or Colbert. Harry's told us that he's Colbert, but Clayton's Colbert.
There you go. So no run there again. All of a sudden, the Whips or the boys from Belmont, they're circling the bat now. They're all in close. There's only the fielder out deep at third man, or as I say that, they've just sent one back for the big hit. The 0-0 of Toby Gray. I think he lived up to that number today. Here's Bailey in again. The Bills, slower delivery. They're going to pinch one. We're looking to come back for two. He's going to run. And he goes straight to the keeper's end. There's a chance here for a run out. But square leg umpire's not interested. So good running now. That is the end of the fourth over. It's the Black Roses 2 for 24 here at number 1 Sports Ground. Here it is on the replay. Oh, there's a different shot there. So 2 for 24. And we're going to have another bowler here. It will be that man, Toby Gray. A 0-0. So get a bit of spin here.
You touched on in that last over that the game is evenly poised after 4 overs. Belmont found themselves 2 for 24, so dead level after 4 overs.
Is it Alex Gray or is it Joe Root bowling?
He's not a bad looker like young Toby, is he? He's been a very strong spin bowler in the representative sides, including the senior Newcastle side. He's still eligible for the 21s, so great to see a young spinner doing some great stuff in the senior representative scene.
So Watkins faces up. No run there. So good delivery to start up here for Gray. So Gray in again to Watkins. Dances down the wicket. It's a nice shot. It's a safe shot because there's no man down there. But I think he's going to pull up. As I mentioned earlier, this ground does have a habit of plugging in some areas, and there it was to see right there. So only the 2 runs there for Watkins. Unlucky, it was a nice shot.
Just no reward for anything once you go slightly aerial, is there?
No, some parts it kicks on, but these birds have certainly played havoc with the outfield here. You'd be tearing your hair out if you're the greenkeeper. So Green again, that one's a bit fuller. He's got a little bit of bat to it. I'll only pick up one.
Yeah, as you said earlier, those Corella cockatoos, they're like a plague here when we arrived at the ground early this afternoon.
Certainly was. I thought they had white covers on the field. There was that many. So Gray in again. Bills goes for the lash. He's found the gap, but there's a fielder out there in the deep. So they'll just take another one. So 2 for 28. The run's still just ticking over nicely. So Gray in again to Watkins. He dances down. This one goes flat along the ground. I'll be pushing for 2 here, but the man's come around well from mid-off to clean that one up. Made some good meters there. So this will be the last delivery of the Gray over. Bills is on strike. We'll pinch another one here. And back there deep. As you can see on the screen there, the grass, how it's all scuffed, and that was thanks to the Cockatoos early. That is the end of the 5th over. Cardiff 2 for 30 here in the Summer Bash here at number 1 Sports Ground. And we welcome to the first time today the ground announcer.
He's got a very youthful voice. Sounds like he might be on debut, the young fella. Doing a great job, though.
Yeah, super job.
Interesting, prior to the start of the match, I was talking to Cardiff skipper Nick Watkins, and he was talking about that game that was played here last week that went into the darkness, and he said he watched that game, was very aware of the need to take singles and to push ones into twos.
So Savage on for his second over. Beals has gone for it. It's gone straight to the man. So the Black Roses lose their 3rd wicket, and Alex Gray takes the catch. And Nick Savage picks up his 1st wicket. And Bills, he's tried to pull that one over. It went straight into the mitts of Alex Gray. So 3 for 30. Nick Savage takes his 1st wicket. Bills makes the long walk back to the pavilion here at number 1 Sports Ground. And all of a sudden, the pressure is back on Cardiff Boolaroo. Here it is on the replay. He's just, wasn't really a short one. I think he might have been expecting it to get up a little bit more, but in the end, it's gone straight to the fieldsman there, Alex Gray. And Bills departs.
Well, it just had a bit of that sort of tennis ball bounce. It sat up, and he was 2/3 of the way through his shot before it got to him, which saw it go to the fielder rather than to that big gap that he was aiming for.
So the new man to the crease is Jay Sneddon. We saw him in the outfield. He was very quick. And his bat says Tom. T-O-N. Be hoping for a ton today. Here comes Savage again. First ball is nicely played right out of the middle, but straight to the fielder. Now they're going to pinch an overthrow. And there's another chance for a run out, but he's made it. As we said, Sneddon's pretty quick, and he showed it there. Just keeping the umpires honest, making sure they're watching that white line. Saying that would have been carnage if Sneddon was run out first ball. So 3 for 31 here, the Black Roses. They're going to have to fight if they're going to get out of this one. Savage in again to Watkins. Watkins goes for the drive and straight to the man on the edge of the square. Clayton Colbert or Colbert, depending what part of Belmont you're from. Nice drive there again from Watkins. It's gone through the hands of the fielder there, so they'll pick up a single. So all of a sudden, you'd say the whips there on top, but they're still fairly quiet out in the field. Not much talk. Savage in again. Standing goes for the cut. It's beaten the man. Third bands have to come around a long way. It's good effort down there. He's actually stopped it from 4. And they'll pick up 3. Very good fielding out there. Bailey Newell. He's been busy on that rope. Or I should say the chalk. There's no rope here at number 1. So Savage coming in again for his last ball of this over. Watkins goes for the drive again and straight to the man at point, no run. And that's the end of the 6th over. The Black Roses 3 for 35 here at number 1 Sports Ground.
Paul just joined down here on the boundary by Daniel Nicotro. He's come up from Blacktown. How'd you find the standard?
Yeah, it's been good out here, mate. It's quite good standard of cricket out here.
Did quite well with the ball in hand. Probably would have liked a few more runs with the stick.
Yeah, it was good to keep him to 125, whatever we kept him to. Not a great start with the bat, but hopefully these boys stay in, keep rotating the strike, we should be right.
Do you have much knowledge of too many of the guys here? How do you see the batting lineup shaping up?
No, I don't actually know anyone. I only know Nick, our captain, who I played with last year at Blacktown. So as long as he stays out there, if he bats through the 20, we'll be competitive towards the end.
And how do you think this light's going to play? It's obviously starting to dim already, and a fair bit of cricket to come.
Yeah, the pink ball seems alright. I reckon we should be alright.
No worries at all. Thanks very much for your time.
Cheers, mate.
Well, it's good to see he's confident. Doesn't know his teammates, but he's confident they'll get home. So we've got another bowling change here for Belmont. It's Luke Muddle. Proved pretty handy with the bat earlier on. So Snedden to face. No run there to start with. Yep, Muddle scored 30 off 27. He was actually out that last ball of the Belmont innings. There was no celebration from CBs at all because it was the last delivery. So Muddle in again. Snedden on strike. This one down leg side. He's pulled it away. It's beaten the fielder. And that will roll all the way to the line for 4 runs. So a valuable 4 for Cardiff Boolaroo. Savage wouldn't have liked that. He's just bowled an over and then he's had to turn around and chase one. As well played that from Jay Snedden. I think Nick Savage might be just having a word to his teammates. They don't bowl down there again. I don't want to chase another one of those. So Muddle in again to Snedden. This one Fuller. He's picked out the gap again. They'll be looking for another 2. Snedden's going to make this easy.
You talked about if there was a foot race between these cricketers, you'd certainly be a very brave man to back against him. He's rapid between the wickets. He was rapid in the outfield. I reckon over any sort of distance he'd have most covered.
Muddle in again. Snedden's gone for the drive. I'll tell you what, he's heart would have sunk there a moment because that was a little bit full on the drive there from Snedden, but just fell a bit short for Bailey Newell. So Muddle in again, holding the ball, trying to hide that seam placement. And a lovely shot that from Snedden. I'll come back for a second. Watkins is going to run to the danger end, but he'll make it home safely. So creeping up to that 50 mark. It's a very even contest at this stage. It's Muddle in again to Snedden. Snedden again finds the gap. It'll be just a single this time, although he was looking for 2, but Watkins wasn't interested. They might get it now. There's been an overthrow. This could go for 4 overthrows here. Chris filled that one all the way to the fence. It's a single, ends up being 5.
Poor Nick Savage is getting an absolute workout out here too. He would have just been looking, going, okay, that over's done, getting ready to set for the next over, and then he gets forced to chase an overthrow all the way to the boundary.
So he's got a good arm on him, Gray, but unfortunately, beat everybody. So we'll have another bowling change. And Toby Gray, he's coming on now from the junction end. He did bowl one moments ago from the Parry Street end here at number 1 Sports Ground. And maybe the captain's seen something down this end of the field he wants his spinner to bowl from. Watkins is on strike. He's just pushing mid-off back a couple of paces. So they're 3 for 39, 3 for 49, I should say, the Black Roses. And Gray is about to bowl his second over. Number 6 in his first over. Watkins, he'll be looking for another one, and Snedden, he's running to the danger end, he makes it easy. So that'll be the 50 up for the Black Roses. So 50 after 7.1. As Gray comes in again. Snedden. Grab another single here. That's very good running. And Gray, you better be careful. He just threw over throws in the last over. Launched another one there, but luckily Savage was there. Well, Clayton Colbert was there to back that one up. So he's just making a few changes. He's moving the man on the hill side of the ground a bit squarer. So Watkins on strike. And straight into the gloves of Hainsworth. So the field is spread. There's 2 men down on the rope for the straight hit. You would say on, deep mid off. Another one square for the sweep. Gray in again to Watkins. It's the forward defence. And all the fielders are close in, sort of just on the edge of the square. So Gray in again. Watkins stepped down to that one, but just defensively bats it down. No run, so this is a very good over here from Toby Gray. Watkins again, that one's a bit shorter. Watkins has got underneath it, I thought. It's down leg size, straight into the gloves, the wicket keeper. And appealing for a wide, and he eventually gets it. So another one to the total there. So Gray in again. His final ball. Watkins goes straight over the top. The man's coming around to it. That's Savage down there in the deep, and just a single. So a couple at the end, but very good over that from Toby Gray. And that's the end of the 8th over. 3 for 53. 74 to get. It's going to be a close one. We thought that right from the start.
Certainly is. It's the toss of the coin from here. Who can win it? It's obviously just going to come down to sort of either one really tight over applying the pressure, or if they can get another over like they did a couple ago where they took 13 off it, that'll certainly give the ascendancy to Cardiff. In terms of ascendancy too, the Hamwicks Pumas doing an absolute job over at Passmore Oval, chasing 98. They bowled the Wallsend Tigers out for. They're none for 48 off 9 overs, so trundling along at a comfortable place with plenty of wickets in hand.
So Don Simons, the new bowler. He'll bowl his first delivery from the Parry Street end here at number 1. Almost a full start there. So Watkins is on strike. That one's short, down leg side, and the umpire calls wide. We'll just mark that one down to a loosener. This one down leg side again, and the umpire's not moved this time. Fortunately, you can hear the town hall in the distance. 7 o'clock bell. Watkins. Another dot ball here. Just can't seem to get young Simons away at this stage. He's calling for a single. This is very dangerous down the bowler's end, but he's safe. It was real well run there from Nick Watkins. He obviously picked the fielder out and backed himself to get home. Simons in again, this time to Snedden. Snedden, he played all over that one. Almost got a edge to it. Simons in again, this one around the legs, and the umpire's called wide straight away. We'll pick up another one on the return. Bit of a mixture this over. Just a couple of loose deliveries from Simons. Other than that, it's been a good over. Snedden gets an edge to it this time. Savage is coming around. He's going to return it, and they'll only pick up one. So that's good fielding, that from Nick Savage. He's been busy the last couple of overs. He'll pick up a single here. So a couple of close chances there from Belmont. And that is the end of the ninth over. The Black Roses 3 for 59 here at number 1 Sports Ground. And so if you're watching the stream or you've just tuned in, Belmont made made 6 for 126. Let us know where you're watching the match from. Thanks, Howie. I've just read your message on the Facebook page. Should be wearing the Cardiff RSL shirt. Howie, I'm retired. You don't need me. Toby Gray, he's going to bowl his third over. Nick Watkins on strike. And he'll pick up a single. Gray, the left arm throw there. Not a bad effort, really. It's gotten just a little bit darker here too at number 1 Sports Ground. You probably can't pick it up through the cameras, but just a little bit darker. Snedden's on strike. He sort of played over the top of that one too, and a bit of a inside edge onto the pads. Hainsworth, the keeper, he appealed for LB. Umpire not interested. As Gray comes in again. Snedden advances. Can't beat the man there in the covers. So the spinners are tightening things up here at number 1. Gray in again to Snedden. Snedden tries to cut this one away. It's beaten the fielder. They'll pick up at least 2. Newell's got a big chase here on his hands, but it's beaten him. And that's a valuable 4 runs for the Black Roses.
Really hope, for the whip's sake, that these couple of misfields that have been very costly, you know, they're starting to push up towards double figures from misfields, aren't the difference in this match when it gets down to the crunch.
So Gray in again. Snedden's gone over the top, but it falls safely. Savage is the man down there, and I'll just pick up another one. So a question before about the name, the Black Roses. Where does the whips come from?
I don't know if I want to hazard a guess. It could go down a very non-PG route, that one.
So Gray in again. Watkins, forward defence, no run. I was thinking whips. Missed big ice cream, but you were thinking,
where I went.
you were thinking something else.
Yeah, it's very interesting, some of these team names. I think we touched last week, the Sea Dragons. I haven't seen many Sea Dragons or Dragons at all out at Callaghan, that's for sure. So
I only saw Sea Dragons when I was in my early 20s, hanging around the brewery at about 3 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, I'm surprised you saw anything at that time of the day. Yeah, there's some interesting mascots, as we said. But these two out here probably take the cake, although the side whose home ground we're at today, Newcastle City Sabres, is another one.
So Sneddon on strike. He'll drive and just pick up one. Well, no, that one's a sword. So, yeah, interesting ones. Anyway, keeps us guessing here at Bar TV. Simon's in again. Watkins goes for the sweep. He's got it away. There's a man out there. And they'll pick up two on the throw. So we're just over the halfway mark now. And if you're going with runs, the Black Roses are just a nose in front. So Simons to Watkins. Drives, no run. Sense that something's going to happen here. Get a couple of, we'll get a bad over, or we're going to get a bundle of wickets. Watkins cuts, just a single. Sneddon's home easy. Don't be fooled if you're watching on the screen and think that was a dangerous run. Sneddon makes it easy. Simon's in again. Sneddon goes for very unorthodox sort of sweep shot, backhand sweep shot. No run again. Tries it again, and there's a chance here for a run out. Oh, Watkins makes it safely. There's a good shot there from the number 23, Clayton Colbert.
They've done very well out here to turn some ones into twos and some runs that a lot of other sides wouldn't have taken in earlier matches into a single. So that could very well be the difference. And Nick Watkins did talk about that with the Charlestown result, as I said earlier. He said before the match that was going to be the key to batting second, is making sure they took every opportunity for a one or a two. And capitalising on that, because he knew the fact is that they had to be well in front of this run rate as we approach sort of overs 16 to 20 if they're still batting. With the light fading and the fact they saw Charlestown really struggle to come home. I think Charlestown only posted 24 off their last 5 overs the other night here in the dark.
Yep, the lights are on here at number one. The batsman just having a drink. 11 overs gone, 3 for 70. It seems gettable, or it seems very easy, but it's tough going out there for the batsman. It has been all through this series here at number one. Savage continues. Sneddon goes over the top, it'll be safe, and they'll just pick up one. Daniel Bailey out there in the deep. So this will be Savage's third over. He's got figures of 1 for 10. Watkins still with a floppy hat. Not sure if Nick Watkins has left his helmet at home or if he's just comfortable with the floppy hat.
It's the same style he rocked last game against Merewether. I think it's it's either a comfort or a fashion statement, one of the two.
Savage in again. Watkins looking to drive. He'll pick up another one. Toby Gray down there at mid-off. Deep mid-off. We've got 4 men out on the boundary. Belmont. Savage in again to Sneddon. Sneddon drives, doesn't beat the fielding of Savage. 4 men out in the deep. No one back for the straight hit. As Gray was down for the straight hit, but he's just moved up now more into a orthodox mid-off. Nick Savage in again. Jay Sneddon on strike. A shorter ball, didn't really get up, but there's no run again. So, really tough game out here at the moment. Sense something's going to happen. Will we get a breakthrough? Or will CVs go berserk? Savage into Sneddon. Slower ball. The full toss, and it's just flicked off nicely. Snedden wanted 2, but Watkins is sending back. So that is the end of another good over for Belmont. Containing the runs at this stage. It should be 3 for 74. So Alex Cook, he's got the ball in his hand. So there's a good crowd in here at number 1 today. These 2 clubs, the outer suburb of, well, it's Lake Macquarie really, not Newcastle, but playing here at number 1 today. It is Alex Cook coming on to bowl. Jay Snedden on strike. So Snedden, he's 28 not out at this stage. Nick Watkins down the other end, 16 from 27. Cook flicks it off the pads nicely. I'll pick up another one, and they'll come back for the second. It's going to be close, but the throw was off target. Snedden makes it home easy. And that man again, Savage. He's certainly earning his money today. I'm not sure if they get paid, but
he'd want to be paid by the effort out here. He'd be making big bucks. It'd be his shout at the sponsor hotel tonight, that's for sure, if it was the case.
So Cook coming in again from the Parish Street end. One's a better delivery, but Snedden picks it off. Just the single this time. So they're creeping up to that 100 mark. I'd suggest they'd want to get to 100 before the 15 over mark. So they'd have to get a bit of a wriggle on, as that run rate is creeping towards 6.5 over. Watkins drives again. That's very well fielded down there. Looks like Newell. Bailey Newell, the youngster. At the moment, Snedden, he's doing a good job for CBs, or the Black Roses. It's hard to call them the Black Roses after you know them as CBs forever. Well, this could go for 4. There's no man there. There's a chaser coming through, but he's not going to make it. So a valuable 4 runs there for the Black Roses. It's unlucky for Alex Cook. It's been a very good over. That one just snicking past the keeper, and there was no man fine or third man. In the end, it was a pretty safe shot, that from Jay Snedden. Beauty of T20 cricket, trying to get your field placings right. Cook in again to Snedden. This one goes over the other side. It's safe. It's just chipped over the infield. And they'll come back for another 2. It's turning out to be a good over here for the Black Roses. It's a crucial part of the match. These 2 have got to keep going for the Black Roses, because if a wicket falls, it's so hard for the new batsman to come out and get himself set, especially in this light that's deteriorating. Snedden, that one's a full one. And just the 1 run. That is the end of the over. So 13 gone here at number 1 Sports Ground. The Black Roses 3 for 85. And the 2 men out in the middle, Watkins and Snedden, they're doing a job for Cardiff Boolaroo at the moment. There's his teammates here in the sideline. They all look pretty relaxed down there. Actually, none of them look like they're in a hurry to get out there in the middle.
Just a quick update over at Passmore Oval, and Jacob Montgomery's taken 3 wickets in an over, a triple wicket maiden to tip that game. So Hamwicks are now 3 for 68 in pursuit of Wallsend's 98. 12 overs gone, so needing less than a run of ball, but that over certainly put a cat amongst the pigeons.
Daniel Bailey to continue. And that one's in the air. It's a great catch. A one-hander. So we get the breakthrough here. And young Zane Pearl taking the catch. And is that the breakthrough that the Belmont Whips needed? Here it is on the replay. Just flicked off. And another screamer here at number 1. So Jay Sneddon, he departs for 38. And is that the turning point? So a disappointing end for his afternoon. Jay Sneddon gone for 38 off 28 deliveries. And just as Cardiff were edging in front, momentum may have just swung back in favour of Belmont here. But the crucial wicket of Jay Sneddon gone. Daniel Bailey picking up the wicket. And he gets a generous applause from his teammates there on the sideline. The new batsman in's Brady Conlon. As I said, a crucial part of this game, the light, it's getting darker by the minute. And Conlon really doesn't have time to get himself set. He's just got to go from ball 1. So Conlon, he'll just have a look around, get used to the fielding placings, and Daniel Bailey, he's just making sure his fielders are where he wants them. He comes in now. Conlon on strike. It's a full ball. No run. So Daniel Bailey, the man with the breakthrough. So he chipped in with 17 when his side needed it in the first innings. Now he's chipped in again with a valuable wicket. Another good foolish delivery. No run again. So Conlon, all the pressure on him at the moment. Bailey coming in again from the junction end here at number 1 Sports Ground. Conlon on strike. He's gone for it over the top. It's going to plug again. And they'll pick up 2. As the fielder, he seemed to lose it in the dust there. But, 2 more runs to the CB's total. It's 4 for 87. The Devils' number in cricket. So Conlon and Bailey just have a mid-wicket conversation. As Bailey just waits for the batsman to get on strike again. He's gone for a whack again. This time it's beaten the fielders. This will go for 4. So another valuable 4 there for the Black Roses. Full outside off. And it's a fairly safe shot as long as you clear the infield, obviously. There's no men back in that big area. Daniel Clark in again to Conlon. That one's a plain miss, and that is the end of the over. So the Black Roses 4 for 91 after 14 overs here at number 1 Sports Ground. The lights are on. It's getting dim. And looks like Watkins is, I thought he was calling for the helmet, but no, he's just changing his gloves.
Interesting to see. He's very relaxed here. We saw Charlestown when they were chasing that total were really trying to hurry Hamwicks along to get through the overs. So it's interesting that the batting team here are taking their time. Obviously, minutes become crucial as this light dims further and further, and we rely more and more on the floodlights perched above number 1 Sports Ground.
Yeah, well, there's no street lights in Cardiff. It's very dark. We're almost nocturnal out there, so they're used to the dark conditions, Chris.
You've had some interesting wanders home from the Iron Horse, have you?
Yep. and the RSL and the bowling club and the workers. Got to get them all in.
Yeah, there's plenty of good venues for a social beverage out there. I spent a year playing footy out there at Cardiff, and I can vouch for all 4 of those venues.
So Watkins, he's got the new set of gloves. As Muddle looks like he's going to continue from the Parry Street end. Watkins drives, he'll pick up another one. Goes out through the covers. So 4 for 92 now, the Black Roses. 35, it doesn't seem that much, but with 35 balls in hand, it's going to be a close one here. As I said, the light deteriorating makes it harder for the batsman to get set. Although Brady Conlon, that last over, he didn't seem to have too much of an issue. Conlon on strike now. That one looked like it hit him on the pad. No run. And look, there's a reasonable crowd in here for a Wednesday afternoon. They're sticking around for this one. That one's short, and there's a man out there underneath it. He's coming around, and he's taken it. So another wicket falls for Cardiff Boolaroo. Toby Gray, the man on screen, takes the catch. Had a lot of turf to cover, but he's taken the wicket of Conlon. Here it is on the replay. He got underneath it, but just not enough on it. And Toby Gray there, he does well. Straight into the Mets. Here it is from the side angle. He's chasing that around. Eyes only for the ball and straight into the hand. So a great catch, great camera work there. And the Black Roses are 5 for 92. In a little bit of trouble, you'd say. Obviously, the CB supporters will be saying, no, we're not out of it yet. But, Peter Nelson, the man, the new man to the crease, he's down the non-strikers end. Nick Watkins, he's still out there.
Interesting to see the whips or Belmont skipper Marcus Hainsworth in consultation with the umpires there. Obviously just having a look at which bowlers he's used up and what he's got left in the tank with 5 overs to come after this one. Looked a little confused, so I'm guessing he's bowled someone out that he hadn't intended to.
Well, Bailey's got 1 over left. Savage also the 1 over. And Toby Gray also 1 over. As Muddle comes in. Parry Street end. Watkins, he'll look for another single. Dom Simons has 2 remaining, and Alex Cook has 2 remaining. So he's got plenty of choice. 6 bowlers used so far, where Cardiff Boolaroo used the 5 bowlers. So Muddle in again. Nielsen on strike, digs this one out. They're going to go for another single. They throw to the non-strikers end, but Nielsen's home safely. As the fielders push back here, Watkins on strike. So the man at mid-off, he's gone right back to the rope. You'll see him as Muddle comes into bowl. Watkins, he goes for the driver, gets past the bowler. Only another single. And that is the end of the 15th over. 5 for 95.
Yeah, Cardiff Boolaroo sit here 12 runs in front of where Belmont were at the same stage of their innings. However, we did see obviously Belmont finish with a absolute flurry to get up into those 120s, so they're going to have their work cut out for them, as you can see on the scoreboard there, needing a bit more than a run a ball to bring it home from here. So I think if Nick Watkins can continue to bat all the way through, that's going to be the key.
So it'll be Toby Gray. He'll bowl his final over now. So 32 to get. I'll need a big over the Black Roses. Gray comes in now to Watkins. Watkins advances, it chips over, it's just going to fall short for Savage. It's a safe shot really, because there's plenty of real estate between the fielder and the bat there. So Nielsen on strike to Gray now. It's a quicker ball, straight into the gloves of Hainsworth. Gray to Nielsen. Nielsen advances. Shout for LBW, but the umpire not interested. And Nielsen, well, the umpire's called leg byes there. So Peter Nielsen a bit unlucky there not to pick up the run. Here it is on the replay. Watkins on strike now to Gray. Another quicker ball that from Gray. And that's a run out. No, it's not. He got a fingertip to it, Toby Gray. But the non-striker, Peter Nielsen, he was planted. Here it is on the replay. Get a closer look at it. Yeah, well done that from Peter Nielsen. Might be an indoor cricket background there from him also. Would have been terrible for the Black Roses if that was out. Nielsen on strike now. He's gone for the big sweep shot. Again, it's a safe shot. He's looking for two, but Watkins sends him back. So this is the final ball of Toby Gray's spell, or 4 overs. Can he finish with a scalp of Watkins? He won't. Watkins will pick up a single, and that's the end of the 16th over. The 100 up for the Black Roses. They're 5 for 100 with 4 remaining here at number 1 Sports Ground.
Over at Passmore Oval, the Pumas have continued their winning run. They now sit as the only undefeated team at the top of their pool after they chased down Wallsend's 98 in the 16th over on the first ball of the 16th over. Cameo by skipper Matt Webber, 17 off 11 rocks, was enough to get them home in the 16th over and see them as the only undefeated team in their pool.
So skipper Hainsworth there on screen. Looks like he's still trying to sort out the bowling order. Gives us a chance to thank the sponsors here of the Summer Bash of Newcastle District Cricket. We thank Newcastle City Council, Kingsgrove Sports, the Mex Club, Instant Access and Sports Castle. Chris McPherson on the sideline. Paul Arundel up here in the Newcastle City Pavilion. I'm not sure if that's what they call it, but we'll call it that anyway. So it's going to be Luke Muddle to continue from the Parry Street end. Just waiting for the batsmen to stop their meeting out in the centre. And sort of interesting this with the light deteriorating. If I'm a batsman, I don't want to be wasting time just having a pointless chat.
It seems they're doing it fairly consistently too. They're in no hurry to go anywhere.
So Watkins on strike. He's calling for a single. It's cut away down there. Third man comes in off the boundary. So just another run there. So Pete Nielsen, he'll face up here. Muddle coming in. Nielsen's gone for it and taken. Hainsworth takes the catch. And another wicket falls for the Black Roses. 6 for 101. He's gone for a slash outside off, and it's gone straight into the gloves of Marcus Hainsworth. So Luke Muddle picks up the wickets. His second wicket. Here it is on the replay. Seam upright. And a big snick on that, straight into the gloves of Marcus Hainsworth. And now it gets even harder for Cardiff Boolaroo.
Just joined down on the sideline as that wicket fell by young gun Jay Snedden. Jay, you look like you're going all right out there.
Yeah, I was hitting them all right after I got away, and it was nice to get a few runs.
Would have liked to probably hang around a little bit more with the skip.
Yeah, I just got a bit of one slower off the pitch and a bit of a leading edge, but yeah.
Needing a bit more than a run of ball as the light fades. If the skipper stays out, are you confident you get home?
Yeah, if Nick's out there, I reckon, yeah, we'll definitely get home.
And who have we got just joined him out there now? I can't make out the number.
Matt Edwards.
Matt Edwards, how's he going to go? He clear some pickets here?
Yeah, big hitter of the ball.
And we've got the big fella, look like he's padding up next. Nathan Hillier there, a couple of other options to swing the willow.
Yeah, all the rest of the boys that keep coming in the back can definitely hit bombs.
Lovely, mate. So there might be some entertainment to finish as one.
Hopefully.
All right, all the best. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
So Edwards will face up here as Muddle comes in. Another 4-1. Going straight to the fielder. There's another chance of a run out. And it's missed the stumps. Watkins would have been gone there if that had hit. And Ainsworth's just signalled how much that missed by. Belmont haven't done the one stump challenge yet. Yet to visit the boys down south. So Luke Muddle in again. Watkins on strike. Watkins drives. Again, another single. So they keep plugging away, Cardiff. 6 for 103. They'd love a boundary here. Just to upset the whips in the field. Keep the captain guessing where he's going to place them, but at the moment, the whips are on top. Muddle in again. That one's trapped him in front. Big appeal. The umpire's not moved. So Edwards survives. Big shout from behind the stumps. Here it is on the replay. He's forward. He's a long way forward. Edwards survives. Luke Muddle looking for a third wicket in this match. Oh, well, Edwards has missed everything there. Looked like another full toss. It's the end of the over. 17 gone, 6 for 103. As I mentioned earlier, it's getting darker. It's just so hard for the new batsman to come in and set himself and also pick up the ball.
Yeah, those lights we see on the camera there certainly starting to kick in. A few shadows being cast by the players in the field. So it's going to be getting more and more difficult, especially as the new batsman to be seeing and picking up that ball as we saw there.
So Nick Watkins, he's been the mainstay out there for the Black Roses. Very good knock. He's got 25, and they're all been pretty much singles, I'd say. And the new bowler, Daniel Bailey, he's coming back in from the junction end. Just a flick away there off the pad, so just the single again there for Watkins. So Green was the first man gone for the Black Roses. He went for 6. Then Ikotra out for 3. Bills for 14. Snedden got them back on the road with 38. Then Conlon was dismissed for 6, and Nielsen moments ago for 2. So Bailey in again. Edwards faces up. Goes for the big wind up. It beats the man at mid-on. Mid-off, I should say. There's a man down there deep, so another single out.
It's certainly been a great effort from the skipper here to bat all this way through the innings, but I really feel if they fall short, it could come down to just, as you said, his inability to find the boundary. He's only scoring at a strike rate of in the 60s, which probably needs to be a little bit higher, chasing the total they are.
Bailey in again. Watkins a nice drive again for a single. Well, Edwards was turning around for the second. But Watkins sends him back. Edwards also with the cap on. bowl a short one just to see if he can pick it up.
That could be very dangerous.
Bailey. That's a full ball. And beats the man there at mid-on. There's a man back deep. They're going for the second this time, and he's in trouble. He's gone. Well, the pressure's starting to build for Seabeast there. The indecision about going for a second, and Edwards gets himself stranded and in the end runs himself out. So the 7th wicket falls, and the Black Roses are 7 for 107.
Yeah, unfortunately, a bit of indecision cost them there, and I really felt like that partnership, neither of them wanted to take the ownership for the need to find the boundary. Both of them seem to be happy to sort of turn ones, and it's just not enough at this point. As you can see, that run rate required starting to creep up around the 8.5 and over, meaning that you either need to be finding a 4 and over, or at least once in these last 2 overs, someone clearing the fence.
So the disappointment there as Edwards joins his teammates on the sideline. Daniel Bailey, man on screen. Just taking the bails off. So 2 balls remaining in this over, and Watkins is back on strike. So 20 to get. Still close enough, the Black Roses. And another single. Still got Willett to come, he can swing it. So 3 wickets remaining on the bench for the Black Roses. 7 for 108. This is the final ball of the Bailey over. Willett will face up here. So we'll pick up 1. And that's the end of the 18th over. So the Black Roses 7 for 109. 12 balls remaining. Went for a very tight finish here. It'll be interesting to see who Hainsworth brings on here. Looks like he's going to stick with Muddle.
Yeah, I think looking at what we've got here, I think Nick Savage has still got one up his sleeve, so I'd expect that he's probably a good chance to bowl from this this other end. He'd want to keep the pace bowlers on here. They're going to be a lot harder to pick up through the air than the spinners. So, yeah, that's going to be well and truly playing in the favour as this light fades rapidly now as the sun's setting behind us.
Yeah, so Luke Muddle to continue. 3 overs, 2 for 21. Willett on strike. That one's kept low. There's a spot out there. There's a couple of times even when we saw Belmont bat. The first innings, there's just a spot out there that just keeps a fraction low. And if you're a new batsman to the crease, it makes it even harder. Muddle in again. That one's popped up. It's gone over the infield. So just another single. I guess the other hard thing here to contend with is the white sight screen with the pink ball. The cream fence along the bottom there. It doesn't help the batsman at all. As Muddle comes in again. Watkins on strike. Advances. Goes for the big hit. And it's up in the air, but it falls safely. I'll pick up 2.
That's what we've been waiting to see from Nick Watkins, is a bit of an aggressive intent. So hopefully he hasn't left it too late here as it approaches 2 runs of ball required on the way home.
The field is spread wide for Watkins, and the really only vacant spot is that whitish mid-off position, but also that there is a mid-off man there, and he is quite deep, so it has to be a big, long, high hit to get over him. Watkins faces up now. He goes that way, and it's gone straight to the man. I think that's Toby Gray out there. So it was 2 square. Intention was right, but just didn't execute it. And the 8th wicket falls for the Black Roses, 8 for 111. And the innings of Watkins comes to an end. You see on the replay, Muddle, that's 3 wickets for him now. And man man in the outfield takes the catch. So that should pretty much seal it for the Whips.
Yeah, it's going to take something pretty spectacular from Willett and Hillier here to bring them home, but a timely 6 in the last couple of balls this over could certainly bring it down to an exciting last over, that's for sure.
So Willett will be on strike. He did cross. Luke Muddle, he'll be looking for 4. He'll be thinking he can get 4 here. As we just wait for a few fielding changes. They've sent a man back for that straight hit. Muddle into Willett. Willett will just take the single. Takes it down to 15 off 7 balls now. Hillier, all the pressure on him, or still pressure on the bowler, Luke Muddle. He's got to bowl the good line. Anything that's strays down leg could go to the rope for 4. Hillier on strike. Straight into the gloves of the wicketkeeper, Hainsworth. And that is the end of the 19th over. 15 to get, with 1 over remaining. It's all uphill for Cardiff Boolaroo.
Yeah, interestingly enough, this is the first time in the match that Cardiff actually fallen behind in terms of run rate. So it's taken to the 19th over, but as we know, Belmont finished with a bang with that last over, taking 11 off it. So it's going to take something pretty big here, either 14 to go to super over or 15 to get it done.
Well, Matt Willett's on strike. Nick Savage has been brought back into the attack to bowl the final over. 3 overs, 1 for 12. He's had a good afternoon or good evening in the field as well. So Savage into Willett. Willett goes for the big hit. It's gone straight down to the man. Will only pick up the single. So it takes it down to 14 off 5. I guess Hillier has just got to try and get off strike here, try and get Willett back on. Easier said than done. Savage coming in again. And there it is, another wicket. Hillier got the snick straight into the gloves of Hainsworth. Savage picks up his 2nd wicket, and Hillier departs without troubling the scorers. Black Roses 9 for 113 here at number 1 Sports Ground. Is just that snick. Easy take there for Hainsworth. And apologies to Edwards. He did get 1 run. But, just falling away for the Black Roses here at the depth. And from the games that I've watched here at number 1 Sports Ground, pretty much if you make over 120 batting first, you're pretty much safe, because it's so hard for the team chasing to pull it back. I hate to harp on it, but this light, it's pretty hard going out there.
Yeah, like we said, there's only been the one successful chase over that mark, and that was the final last year, which would have been played in the afternoon as opposed to the twilight, so it makes a significant difference.
So 14 or 4 required. It's still gettable. You can see there Nick Savage on screen just marshalling his troops, making sure that field placement is right. Playing a miss. He's looking for the run. Well, that was close to a run out there from Hainsworth. Well, Dan Carter coming in at the depth. One wicket to get for the Whips. Savage. Can he finish with a 3-for? They'll take a run here. Savage better hurry. Well, he's hit the stumps. They've appealed. The umpire says not out, so this will be interesting here. Carter was just dawdling down there, and the quick throw. Savage appealed for it. A few of the boys can't believe that one. Here it is on the replay. The underarm throw. Oh. Well, the umpire's closer than I. That's all I'll say on that one. Here comes Savage in again. Willett on strike. I'll pick up another one, but it's all over now. Oh, the shouting. So the final ball. The Black Roses are going to fall short here at number 1.
Yeah, whether he's right or wrong there, I don't think there's any need to hang the umpire. He's certainly not changed the result here, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, it's been a great fight back here from Belmont, really. The start they got off to. Savage, the slower ball. He's called a wide, so we're not done with yet. Maybe that's karma. The umpire's heard me. He's like, no, we're going to make you sit for another delivery.
I have seen in I think it was over in New Zealand in a T20 game, they needed 12 off 1 to win and a no ball 6 and then another 6 to get it home. So it's doable, but unlikely.
So Savage, is this the final ball now? Yes, it is. Straight through to the keeper. And the Belmont Whips have defeated the Black Roses by 10 runs here at number 1 Sports Ground. As I said, a great fight back. They were in all sorts in their first innings. And got to 6 to 126, and it proved enough here against the Black Roses. You can see the players there just shaking hands. A good win there for the Whips. Disappointing end for CBs.
Certainly is a good win, and that puts them back on top of their pool with 2 pool games to come. So that'll fill them with confidence. They're undefeated alongside the West Rosellas, who they will clash with in one of the final rounds. Just having a look at the fixtures here to see who else they'll come up against.
Well, that's about all from us here. A big thanks to our sponsors, Newcastle City Council, Kingsgrove Sports, the Mex, Instant Access, and also thanks to Chris McPherson down on the sideline from Sports Castle. It's been another entertaining summer bash of cricket here at number 1 Sports Ground. I'm Paul Arundale, and it's time to say goodnight.